talk about. Thank you.
I just want to introduce Dennis Surratt once again, if I may. He ran for president, what was it, 1980? 84, forgive me, and got a lot of votes.
Independent.
He's an independent right after.
That was in the country, not CWA.
Of the United States. He's, I think you garnered a very large share of the votes, comparatively speaking.
No, we didn't.
A spoiler.
Yeah.
I was the guy that paved the way for the likes of Obama.
It's probably true.
No. Let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in the labor movement for 45 years. And I'm credited with running the longest strike in CWA history, which was right here in New York, a 7.5 month strike. I've known every president of CWA. I was one of the founders of the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists. I started the caucus, Black Caucus, and was part of the Women's Caucus also in CWA, and have worked hard within the community and other unions as well. So I have some familiarization there, and my piece of, I think I've gotten fired more than anybody by working for the Bell 8 times. I don't think anybody's got a record like that. So, and I'm unabashedly a Marxist, so we can go from there. I'm not hiding anything in terms of who I am and where I want to go. Fortunately, I've been able to work my way up, and I'm the head of education for CWA and the Minority Leadership Institute, which is probably the most prolific program that we have, and I'm president of the United Association of Labor Educators. And I bumped into this course to come here to sit here like you. I'm up here. Thank you. First of all, I'm not an expert on all law. No one is. Even lawyers aren't. They always got to pull it out, look at it, figure out what they're going to do. Just like you do when you have a problem in the workplace. You know, you want to go to somebody that maybe has done something that, you know, you can learn from their experience and so forth and so on. I've come through the rank and file. I've been presidents of locals, some of the larger locals, vice presidents, secretary treasurers, stewards, and I've been up and down, you know, from president to digging holes, to vice president to digging holes and climbing poles and things like that. That's the price you pay for standing up and being able to take the risk of going against corporations. And I'm very, very clear in terms of what laws are and when you obey them and when you disobey them. And we've always used to tell our attorneys, you know, when we were preparing for a strike, this is in the older days. This is going back into the 70s. They would say, here's what you can't do. You can't do this, you can't do that. You know, you break the law if you do this, if you do that. So after a while, we would sit there and we'd go like, I tell you what are we paying you, right? You figure out a way to get us out of shit we're going to get in. So, unfortunately, we're not in that era anymore. The problems that we have today are problems pretty much that laid up, and we've gone into what we call business unionism, where labor has gone a certain time, and they debate and they push for laws and all, and unfortunately, we fall victim to change. And sometimes change goes from left to right, but I wouldn't even describe left to right in the span of this country, because it goes from the middle of the road to the right, and everything progressively goes from the middle to the right, the middle to the right, the middle to the right. It never comes back to us. The difference is when we look back, when we had 35 million versus what we have today, is that we don't have labor density, we have global capital, and labor pretty much has destroyed their own democratic system internally. So we have really weakened ourselves in many cases in terms of having the members say anything, and therefore most of the members have fell out of the labor movement and really don't know what it is. And I say that simply because I'm running a local right now. You know, that's under temporary administrative. It's in my particular union, and I've been running them for a year. Right now in our district, we're the top local in that particular district because we defy, we organize, we socialize, and we do all the things that the old timers that can identify with what I'm saying used to do many years ago. So what has changed? What has changed? If we go back to the origins of the Wagner Act and the Fair Labor Standards Act, the Railway Act, and all of these acts that have basically governed where we were going back to the days of Gompers, and saying that, hey, we have laws on the book. We also had density. Right now we have no respect. We have absolutely no respect, and we have had to move to Employee Free Choice Act. I feel very, very comfortable and lucky that I've been close enough to the likes of Larry Cohen and have been a part of arguing a basic left point of view in terms of what's going on. I was part of the group that decided that we're going to put together a Stewart's Army. And the Stewart's Army said, what the hell is that? Well, it's nothing more than what labor used to have years ago when we could really organize masses of workers and move the government and move people off of their spot. We can't move people off their spot anymore. And I owe my longevity with CWA in many cases was with the ability to go down, talk to our members, and move them on an issue. Not a lot of issues, but on an issue. And that is something that we've got to learn how to do. And a lot of the old timers know how to do it. You know how it is when you go in there, you go into a place where everybody wants to kick your ass, and you come out with at least half of them wanting to kick your ass, not all of them. So we have to tactically, and what we've done with the Employee Free Choice Act and the Stewart's Army both within CWA has been to move them back into the community. We've trained them first of all. You cannot send people and say, go out and do the Employee Free Choice Act. People go like, what's that? Most workers are 9-to-5ers, you know, and they're all intimidated. So you have to train them, you have to be with them, you have to let them know that you're ready to take a bullet just like they are, pardon the expression. And then they will start to believe it. You have to show them exactly how you will benefit from this. You have to use some of the lessons of the past into the present, because you are competing with a sort of a communication system, newspapers and things like that, that have pretty much erased labor from the face of the map. So we have to join in that. We have put together programs with emails so everybody can get an email. Because we know at least people look at emails once a week or something like that if they don't do it every day. We have to pull together, and what we've done is pull together alliances within the community. And how did we do that? We said, everybody, all you guys, all you stewards, what are you a part of? You're part of Civic Association, you're part of a sports team, you're part of this, you know. Tell you what do you guys, what kind of problems do you have there, okay? Hey, when you have your next meeting, can you invite us down to talk about, you know, what's going on? We'll take your problem if you take our problem. You know, and we may not have a problem at the time, but we have to acquaint ourselves with the community, and we've embarked on a program to do that. So what has that got to do with labor law? As you may have heard right now, I've been around a long time. I'm close to 70. Fortunately, like I said, still here. One of the things that I learned was from the Civil Rights Movement. There were bad laws and good laws, and I've broken both of them. and being arrested and knowing that you stood for something and all, I've seen the laws get bent. I've seen the rules get bent. So people get it lodged in their head to say, we can't do that. Bullshit. What works for all of us? You know, let's move in that direction where we can move something, because they'll find words. Words are magnificent. People will say, okay, we won't put and, we'll put not. Or, all those little teeny little pieces like that gives you a right to seep into an area that you like. And what the Employee Free Choice Act does is basically put a little bit of an emphasis in an area where we can start squeezing in and at least begin to win back the right to have a contract. Because right now we're stuck with thousands of cases that because of the administration, they just won't listen. They'll leave you out there. You just organize the group. They'll leave you out there with that group to die with that group. And here's how it works. You win by the rules. Then you say, the employer says, you're ready to sit down for a contract, and I'm sure you all know that. They go, I don't want to talk to you. And you're going to say, oh, really? I'm going to National Labor Relations Board. 3 years later, all your organizers are gone. You know, the place that went out of business and changed their name. You know, and you're on the, by the time they call your name after 3 years, you don't even exist anymore.